dear students, and welcome back to this session. In the previous session, we were discussing few fundamental concepts relating to current electricity. Now in this session, let us continue our discussion by discussing about the relation between electric current and drift velocity, and as well as let us discuss a new law, that is Ohm's law, that is a basic law which is regarding flow of electric current. So let's get started. Let's define few terms relating to this electric currents in conductors, right? So for that, let us consider the conductor. Okay, let us consider a cylindrical conductor, right? We were discussing about the drift velocity. As I had mentioned, the electrons will be revolving in different directions with certain thermal velocity. As soon as we apply the electric field, right, by means of connecting it to a battery, what happens? Electric field will be set up, right? So electric field will be set up in this conductor, and that too in the direction of positive to negative. Due to this electric field, the electrons which are present in this conductor, they will start drifting towards the positive terminal in the direction opposite to the direction of the applied electric field. Now during its drift motion, right? So ಈ drift velocity ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಈ electrons positive end ಕಡೆಗೆ move ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ from negative plate to positive plate, right? So during its motion, it will be colliding with the positive ions which are present inside the conductor. These positive ions are the fixed ions which will be present inside the conductor, right? So electrons ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, when they start drifting towards the positive terminal, there is a possibility that they will collide with these positive ions, right? So the path which is traveled by the electron, right, say suppose for example there is an electron, it's trying to drift towards the positive terminal and it collides with this positive ion. Now this path which is traveled by the electron is called as free path. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು free path ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so if I take the average of every electron will be drifting towards the positive terminal, and each electron may collide with certain positive ions which are present inside the conductor, right? So if we take the average of the free paths which is traversed by the free electrons, so that average of these free path is called as mean free path. Average term na ನಾವು mean free path ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Fine. And one more term you should notice here. Now the time taken by this electron between these two successive collisions, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅದೇನು ಫ್ರೀ ಪಾತ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟೈಮ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? We call it as relaxation time. Okay, so the average mean free path, the average mean free path na ಏನು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನ ನಾವು ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಲೆಟರ್ tau. Fine. So these definitions I have mentioned over here, right? So what is mean free path? It is the path between two consecutive collisions. ಯಾವುದೇ ಎರಡು collisions ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾತ್ನ ಫ್ರೀ ಪಾತ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಲೆಂತ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಪಾತ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೀನ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಪಾತ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, 1 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು, ಅಥವಾ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮೀನ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಪಾತ್. ಈ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ, length of the distance traveled by the free electrons, right, for two successive collisions. So the time to travel those mean free path is called as relaxation time. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು relaxation time ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So this is mean free path and this is relaxation time. And relaxation time, as I mentioned, it is always denoted by the letter tau. Tau is equals to T1 plus T2 plus 1 up to Tn divided by n. This is the same thing what we had took in the derivation. Derivation alli adanne ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ time travel to time taken to travel the free paths, right? ಅದನ್ನ average ತಗೊಂಡು relaxation time ಇಂದ represent ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. We have just took the same relaxation time over here in the equation. Fine. So there is one more definition, that is mobility of free electrons. Oh, sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention about relaxation time. This relaxation time that is a constant for a given material at a particular given temperature. Yavde one material one particular temperature alli ee relaxation time enagirutte aa material ge constant value agirutte. Okay, but it varies if the temperature varies. It will vary if the material is varying. Okay, but for a given material at a given particular temperature, relaxation time for that given conductor will be constant. Okay, so one more important definition is mobility of free electrons. Mobility of free electrons andre eno? It is the drift velocity acquired by the free electrons per unit electric field. You can see it in this example. Yavade vandu conductor na consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವೇನು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡ್ರಿಫ್ಟ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ quantity of drift velocity acquired per unit electric field? So this ratio we call it as mobility of free electron. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು mobility ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And usually it is denoted by the letter mu. As you can see here, it is denoted by the letter mu. ಇದನ್ನ mu ಇಂದ represent ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So mu is equals to the drift velocity divided by electric field. Drift velocity per unit electric field. If you substitute the value of drift velocity in the equation, E into capital E tau divided by m divided by E. So E term gets cancelled. E tau divided by m. Okay, this is one more formula for mobility of free electrons. Okay, you must note down all these simple and important formulas which will help you in solving numericals in the future. Fine. And SI unit of mobility of free electrons is meter square per volt per second. Okay, either you can write it in this way or you can write it in this way. Fine, both are correct. Okay, so for 1 marks they may ask you to define mobility of free electron, or they may ask you the SI unit of mobility of free electron or the formula for mobility. Okay, or they may club all these 3 questions and ask it for 3 marks. Okay, so these are few very important definitions relating to the concept of electric currents in conductors. Let's derive an expression for the electric current in terms of drift velocity. Okay, or you can also say it as an expression for relation between drift velocity and electric current. Drift velocity ಮತ್ತೆ electric current ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು relation ಇರುತ್ತೆ, how it is dependent, interdependent on each other. So that relation we will be deriving here. Okay, this might be asked for either 3 marks or sometimes it is asked for 5 marks. Okay, so basically what we will consider, let us consider there is a conductor. Okay, to derive the expression we should consider a conductor which is connected to a battery. Okay, as soon as we connect it to a battery, it provides the necessary potential difference across the ends of the conductor and electric field is set up inside the conductor. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಟು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಸೂನ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಟಪ್, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್? Free electrons which are available in the conductor, it will experience the electrostatic force, and due to that force it will start drifting towards the positive terminal. Electrons will be at negative terminal and it will start moving uniformly towards the positive terminal. And due to this flow of electric charges or flow of electrons, we will observe certain electric current in the circuit. Okay, this is the process happens whenever we connect a battery or we apply the potential difference to a conductor. So for our derivation, let us consider a conductor which is of length L and area capital A. Okay, that is what I have written over here in sentences. Fine. So let us assume n be the number of free electrons per unit volume of the conductor. ಈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮಿಗೆ n number of electrons ಅಂತ assume ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ what will be the total number of free electrons available in the complete conductor? It will be simply the n multiplied by the volume of the conductor, right? So that is what I have written here, n into volume of the conductor. Volume of the conductor ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? Area is given, length is given. If we multiply these two dimensions, we get the volume. So n into AL will be the total number of electrons which are available in this given conductor. Now if I assume E is the magnitude of the charge on each electron. Okay, ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಂತ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇ ಅಂತ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It can be represented by capital Q, which is equals to NaL into E. So let's take that as equation number 1. So next what I do, I'll calculate the time taken by the each charge to cross the conductor length, right? Andre prati ಒಂದು electron illinda ಈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ length and drift velocity I have just expressed. T is equals to L by Vd because we know velocity is nothing but displacement by time. So I can use this equation, and if I rewrite for time, T will be equal to L divided by V. So since velocity with which electrons are flowing is drift velocity, so we have to specify drift velocity. So let us consider that as equation number 2. Now according to the definition of electric current, we know current can be defined as the total charge which is crossing a cross section of a conductor per unit time, right? It's Q by T. Now substituting the values of Q and T from equation number 1 and 2, substituting it and cancelling this L in both the numerator and denominator gives us the equation as I is equals to N into A into Vd, right? Where N will be the number density of free electron. Number density antadru helbodu N na, athava number of electrons per unit volume. Okay, where N is the number density of electrons and E is charge on each electron, and where A is area of the conductor, right? Area of the conductor, and Vd, as you know, it's drift velocity. Vd is drift velocity. If you observe the expression here, the electric current is directly depending upon this drift velocity, right? It has a direct relation, which means if drift velocity is more for electrons, then the amount of or the magnitude of the electric current which is observed in the conductor will also be maximum. If drift velocity decreases, then electric current will also decrease. So this is the relation between electric current and drift velocity. Let's discuss regarding a law which is regarding flow of electric currents. So that law is called as Ohm's law. Okay, and it was found by a scientist called George Simon Ohm. Okay, around in the year 1828, what he did, he considered a simple circuit, what I have shown in the picture, like it consisted of an electric bulb, a battery, an ammeter and a voltmeter. Okay, using this simple experimental setup, what he did, he studied the electric currents in conductors. What is an ammeter? Ammeter is a device which measures the electric current. Voltmeter is a device which measures the potential difference or the voltage, right? And battery, you people know, provides the necessary potential in the circuit, and electric bulb. Okay, when he was studying this, what he concluded after studying the doing the experiment, what he concluded was, he said that according to him, electric current which is passing through a metal conductor, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ದ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ as you go on increasing the potential difference for any given conductor, the current will also go on increasing in the conductor. That is what he had observed in the experiment. And also he observed that it is inversely proportional. The electric current is inversely proportional to the resistance between its end. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. This is what he had drawn a conclusion after studying the electric currents. Okay, now what is this electrical resistance? That I'll discuss in detail later, but for now you just understand how the current is directly proportional to the potential difference, or we will just focus on what is this Ohm's law. Fine. According to Ohm's law, what we can write the statement is the current, right? The current which is flowing through any given conductor, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, it will be directly proportional to the potential difference. Okay, this is the statement what you have to write if in examination they ask you to state Ohm's law. The current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the end of the conductor, provided the physical conditions like temperature, pressure, strain, etc. of the conductor remain unchanged. Fine. ಅಂದರೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we can write it as V is proportional to I, right? V is proportional to I means V indicates what? It indicates the potential difference. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ potential difference ನ increase ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವೋ current ಕೂಡ conductor ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, increase ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Suppose if we decrease the potential difference, current will also go on decreasing. If we remove this proportionality, we can write the equation as V is equals to R into I. Okay. Now what is this R here? R is the proportionality constant which is also known as resistance of the conductor. Adana navu resistance anta heltivi. It has some physical meaning. Okay. So conceptually resistance andre enu conductor alli adanna nanu further in the chapter I will explain it. But for now you remember in this Ohm's law it's a proportionality constant, okay, which comes between V is equals to Ri. Or if you rewrite this expression, you can rewrite the Ohm's law as V by I is equals to R. Or you can also express it as I is equals to V divided by R. If you want the relation between the current and the resistance, then you will take this form of the Ohm's law. Or if you want the relation between the voltage and the current, then you will be using this formula. Fine. These are the different forms of equations which you can write for Ohm's law. Okay. Let us try to understand how this happens. If we go on increasing the potential difference, how the current varies. Let us just have a look at a simulation and understand this concept. Looking at the simulation, let us try to understand Ohm's law, right? And let us try to understand the relation between the current, potential difference, and as well as resistance. Okay. So current ಮತ್ತೆ potential difference ಅಲ್ಲಿ relation ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? According to Ohm's law, it states that current is directly proportional to the potential difference, right? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು potential difference ನ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರಿಗೆ ವೇರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. Now let us look at this simple setup. Okay, as you can see at the left part of the simulation, here they have given a simple battery, which means this battery provides the necessary potential difference for this conductor. Okay, so the central part, instead of presenting a conductor, they have shown you a graph, okay, which will tells us the relation between the current and the potential difference. And a resistor, this is basically a carbon resistor. Regarding carbon resistor also, this is a separate concept which we will discuss later, but for now you just understand, in the conductor the resistance which is considered is the carbon resistor. It is the resistance which we will be observing. Okay, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ, later we will come to this point, but for now let us just assume this is the part of the ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಆಮ್ಮೀಟರ್, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಆಮ್ಮೀಟರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಮ್ಮೀಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ, digital battery they have provided. Okay, now keeping the magnitude of the current fixed as 1 ampere. 1 ampere andre ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? ಕರೆಂಟ್ should be in the range of 1 ampere itself. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 likewise. If I take 10 ampere, then I have to consider 1 to 10. Okay, let us consider a 10 ampere of graph. Fine. Now let's vary the potential difference. According to Ohm's law, as we go on increasing the potential difference across any given conductor, as you can see, the value of the potential difference is increasing. 58, 59, 66, 67, 70, 71, 72 likewise, right? As I am increasing the potential difference, you can see there is an increase in the electric current. ರೈಟ್, ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಡ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಮ್ಮೀಟರ್, ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ? ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. Right, so when you plot a graph taking potential difference along x-axis and electric current along y-axis, right, potential difference in x-axis and see, you'll get a linear graph, right? So linearly, as you go on increasing the potential difference, the current will also go on increasing and you'll get a straight line as it is showing in the figure. Okay, so this is the relation between potential difference and electric current according to Ohm's law. Now if you see the relation between the electrical resistance and the electric current, right? So what is the relation between electric current and resistance? It is inversely proportional, right? So it is basically a proportionality constant, but when you rewrite the expression of Ohm's law, you will get the formula as I is equals to V by R, which means current is inversely depending upon the resistance. ಅಂದ್ರೆ resistance ನೀವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ will go on decreasing. Okay, so let's vary the resistance value over here, right? As you can see in the center part, this carbon resistor is providing the necessary resistance. ಸೊ ನಾನು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಮ್ಮೀಟರ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ರೈಟ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ right in the graph itself as the current value is dropping, right? As I'm increasing the resistance, the current value is dropping gradually. So this dot is representing the current value along this y-axis, right? So this is the relation between electric current and resistance. Resistance kadmi aagta hodre enagutte, as you decrease the resistance value, you can see gradually the current value is increasing, right? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್? ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್. ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ in detail about resistance and carbon resistance we will study later. For now let's just get focused on Ohm's law. Now according to which, as we increase the potential difference or go on giving gradually the potential difference, current will also gradually go on increasing. Okay, so this is about the Ohm's law. Now if we need to prove this Ohm's law, right? So examination alli 5 marks kelidre they will ask you to state and explain Ohm's law, or if for even if it is asked for 3 marks, it will be asked to state and explain Ohm's law, or they may ask you to mention the limitations of Ohm's law. Okay, so when it is asked to state and explain or to state and derive or deduce Ohm's law, okay, in that case along with the statement you need to prove it, right? So what will be the proof? As I have mentioned here, you can see we will consider the current equation which we had derived in the previous session, right? So previous session alli ನಾವು ಒಂದು relation derive ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ between electric current and drift velocity. I is equals to NEAVD. Let us consider that equation. Now in this equation we know the value of drift velocity. Drift velocity ge equation ಏನು? VD is equals to E into E tau divided by M. Okay, substituting this value in the above equation, let us say this is equation number 1. So equation 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ substitute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ what happens? I is equals to NEA into E tau divided by M, right? So in this electric field na ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು? Potential difference per unit length ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. Okay, so electric field can be expressed as V divided by L for any conductor, whichever conductor you consider, right? So ಈ electric field value na ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ substitute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? I is equals to N as it is. Since E is 2 times E square capital A, instead of E now I am substituting it as V divided by L. V divided by L into tau. Since M is there in the denominator, I'll write it as it is. Okay. Now rewriting this equation, V ಮತ್ತೆ I term na left hand side ಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ it comes as V divided by I. So V divided by I is equals to this denominator goes to the numerator and numerator comes to denominator. So M into L divided by N E square A into tau. Now if you observe the right hand side terms of the equation, right hand side alli ಏನೇನಿದೆ? M mass of the given conductor. So for a given conductor mass will be constant value. Length of the given conductor, for a given conductor it will also be a constant. N is the number density of electrons, that will also be a constant value for a given conductor. Charge on each electron is also a constant. Area of the conductor is also a constant, and relaxation time also we know that it is a constant term for a given material at a particular temperature. Now since all these terms are constants, we can replace these complete term as R, capital R, right? So where R is what? R is equals to ML divided by N E square A divided by A into tau, which is called as resistance of the conductor. Okay, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು resistance ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. In the Ohm's law it is called as proportionality constant. It is a proportionality constant in Ohm's law, right? So V by I is equals to R. This is nothing but Ohm's law, right? We have already discussed here. So that gives the same relation between potential difference, current and the resistance. Fine. So this is the proof of Ohm's law. Okay. And for your exam point of view, this is a very important question. Okay. State and explain Ohm's law anta 3 marks igu kelbodu athwa 5 marks alli derive madakke heltare Ohm's law na athwa state and explain and mention its limitations anta bekadru kelbodu. Fine. So we will discuss about limitations in the next session.